2 at
2025.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And I heard you right? Maybe some dryness today?
Yes, dryness. Now, similar to yesterday, you know that nuisance drizzle? That's probably about the worst we're going to get today. Much of the day today will be cloudy still, but dry. A little mild as well. In fact, some fog to wake up on this Thursday morning. A live look in Oneonta. We are tracking some foggy conditions, and this is mainly in those higher elevations in the southern valleys, potentially up north as well. We'll, of course, show that in a few minutes. Either way, 54-degree start to your day in Oneonta, 51 degrees in the Mohawk Valley, in the 40s heading up into the North Country. But Watertown, Syracuse, Rochester reporting rain showers early today, and these showers are very light. You can see some of the remnant drizzly showers here on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Very faint signature here. But as this front moves through, temperatures don't really warm up too much today. In fact, we remain 5 or so degrees warmer than we are this morning by this afternoon. Either way, as we look ahead to Mother's Day weekend, it could be dry, it could be even sunny. We have a full look at that forecast coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks, and don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. Governor Hochul.
They go. You need to know. Will they need a jacket? An umbrella? What should your kids wear to school tomorrow? Get the bus stop forecast only from Storm Tracker 2. Brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group. The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning. Time now is 5:09, and well, it's just been a rainy week. Non-stop rain, clouds, and just damp conditions. And we'll be dealing with damp conditions to start today, but on the plus side, impactful rain will not really be a factor for much of the day today. A look at the area roadways, something to mention here on these traffic cameras is right here, the Route 8 and 20 connection to Bridgewater. Got some fog rolling in there too, primarily in the southern valleys. Now, of course, head up north near Boonville, the fog not nearly as noticeable, but still, traffic tracker, really no accidents to report this morning. Still, though, some higher elevations might encounter that fog and might encounter some slowdowns. Either way, the radar looking damp, nothing significant with rain, but we can see the an approaching front right here producing some light rain over the next couple of hours. But as we head throughout the day today, again this morning, watch out for some patchy fog. This afternoon, we'll see mostly cloudy skies and a passing light shower, if that. But we do have some good news heading into the weekend. Before that, though, we have some rain to track tomorrow. The details on that in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. It is day 2 of the Papal Conclave at the Vatican.
Omni, we've got your back.
The Oneonta Cam is brought to you by Semicron Danfoss. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone. On this Thursday, we are tracking cloudy skies, patchy fog, and just overall damp conditions for your Thursday. Looking downtown Utica right now, the fog is not nearly as prevalent in the Mohawk Valley. Heading to those hilltops south is when you start to encounter it. Either way, the temperatures early today sitting at the low 50 mark, mid-50s heading south. Still calm winds, and that higher dew point means that any temperature pushing the upper 40s could be encountering that foggy condition. Either way, we zoom out on the radar right now. We've got this light rain moving in. We look at the radar and satellite here. It's from a cold front that's approaching from the northwest. This will drag with it, I guess, cooler temperatures, but realistically today, we're not really going to cool down all too much. In fact, the temperature remains relatively the same from this morning into this afternoon, with highs only in the mid-50s. Now, I mentioned this a few days ago briefly, but I wanted to actually shed more light on it now that weather is quiet, at least for much of the day today, that our season of snow is now coming to a close. Usually it's almost impossible to get snow here locally much beyond middle of May. Yes, it snowed on Mother's Day before, but with the way the pattern is looking right now, it doesn't quite look to be the case. Either way, we finished the season with 8 inches above average, 103 inches to date. The average season snowfall at 95.5 inches. This is the first time we had above average snowfall here in Utica since 2018. Yes, it's been quite a few years since we received above average snowfall. So here we are this year with a return to an actual winter we haven't seen in a while. Now, the opposite of snow, we got rainfall moving in, heading into tomorrow. This will produce roughly 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. The numbers have trended down a little bit, and that could produce maybe a very low chance for flooding concerns. Non-zero, but we'll keep a close eye on creeks and streams because of the fact that the water table is pretty high and the soil is saturated. Today, cloudy skies, damp conditions, passing light shower, widespread rain moves in as we head into tomorrow morning through tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. But watch what happens as we head into Saturday. Saturday morning, cloudy, drizzle, but then by the afternoon, those clouds exit. Sunshine slowly moves in. Rain ends on Saturday. For Mother's Day, sunshine. Highs approaching the low 70s. So we've got light at the end of the tunnel here. And look at this, beyond this week. Yeah, starting to start clapping. We are looking at upper 70s, pushing 80 next week. Yes, a passing shower Wednesday potentially, but overall this is a trend we definitely like to see after such a cloudy and rainy stretch.
I've never seen a bigger sun on a 7-day forecast.
I know.
Look at that. Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful for Mother's Day.
Beautiful. Eric, thanks. Well, the time right now is 5:19. Thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libator. Get ready for some dry weather for a change. Meteorologist Eric Gage tracking it all in the Weather Center. And Eric, how are we looking this morning?
Well, the weather is going to be drier than previously. Maybe some light drizzle, but compared to the past week, we consider this dry. A look at Oneonta right now. This morning, a blanket of fog over the city, and this is a common sight in some locations in the southern valleys early today. The temperature this morning sitting at 52 degrees in Oneonta, so it's fallen a few degrees since earlier this morning. Either way, the temperature in the Mohawk Valley sits in the low 50s as well, with some rain showers heading up north near Watertown. The radar right now picking up on some of that light rain from this cold front moving through. And again, the rainfall from this is going to be light. It's going to be nuisance drizzle and just stubborn sprinkles across the area today. But either way, it's going to be mostly cloudy. Temperatures in the mid-50s. So it's a cooler day today. But as you look ahead to Mother's Day weekend, in a few days, could be a lot more sunshine in the forecast, but we got to get through some rain showers first tomorrow. Of the details and the timing of that rain moving in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. A new ambassador.
The Oneonta Camp is brought to you by Semicron Danfoss.
As you head out the door this morning, temperatures begin in the 50s and 40s in parts of your area, and overall it's going to be a pretty mild or slightly cooler than mild day today. High temperatures don't really climb too much warmer than this, mid to maybe upper 50s if that today. And on top of that, we're tracking cloud cover as well as some areas of light sprinkles throughout the day. So it's not entirely dry, but compared to the past 5, 6, 7 days, it's definitely much more on the drier side here locally. But as we look ahead to our photo of the day today, this will actually be our first photo submitted to us of a rainbow this year. It's been quite some time since we've seen this atmospheric phenomenon. And you can take a look at this double rainbow actually taken in the morning hours yesterday. It was a prime condition for the rain arriving from the west and the sunrise in the east, and you have that perfect angle where the gradient of the solar light expands over the area. You can see, of course, the double rainbow there. So Shout out to Utica this morning, and thank you to the viewer who submitted this photo. If you have a photo like this one you'd like to share with us, you can send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Central Association.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone. We are tracking cloudy skies, damp conditions, maybe some light sprinkles, but overall a mild and I would say slightly cooler than mild day today. Downtown Utica, a live view outside right now. We can actually see out in the distance that low-lying cloud layer. It's hitting the tops of those highest buildings in the city right now. And the temperature beginning today in the 50s, low 50s. With a dew point of 48, that means that the air is pretty saturated. It's pretty damp out there this morning. And that temperature not expected to climb all too much today, only into the mid to upper 50s if we're lucky. The Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar is showcasing some rain showers up near, say, Boonville, Old Forge right now. It is moving its way south and east. Still, areas of patchy, very light drizzle are ahead of that front. And this is that cold front from the northwest you can see right here as it moves its way south and east into our area today. And with it, cloudy skies for the most part. We're really not going to see a whole lot of breaks in the clouds today. Now, while the weather is quieting down for the most part today, I do want to do a quick flashback on the season snowfall so far. I briefly touched upon it earlier this week in about a quick segment, but getting more detail into it, we're about 8 inches above average to wrap up the snow season this year. 103.5 inches to date recorded in Utica. This is the first time we were above average since 2018. So this has been the first winter in a while where we've actually had a winter here in central New York. Either way, we are tracking not snow, but rain heading into tomorrow. This will be a widespread rain event. Most locations picking up 3/4 of an inch, maybe a half an inch or so.
This is an NBC News special report. Here's Lester Holt
With Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And as we saw the proceedings from the Vatican just a few minutes ago, black smoke came out again. We'll have a full report on that straight ahead, but let's get right to the forecast. Drier today, finally, right?
Yes, aside from some nuisance sprinkles compared to yesterday, a lot more dry. I would say not nearly as warm as earlier this week, but still, we got some nicer days ahead.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to get some rain tomorrow, though. A look at the current conditions out there right now. First off, a live view of Oneonta, where some of you in the southern valleys might be dealing with some patchy, dense fog. You can see right here, of course, in our Oneonta camera. 52-degree start to your day today, and of course, watch out for some reduced visibility from these areas of fog. Across the rest of central New York, we are starting out your day in the 50s, 40s, and areas out west where that cold front is rolling through. So it might cool down a little bit, but after that, we warm up a few more degrees this afternoon. So live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We can see that cold front moving in from the northwest. Very faint. It's not a strong one, but it's there. And that's going to produce the potential for a patchy rain shower or two this afternoon. Otherwise, you can see here cloudy skies and temperatures peaking in the mid-50s. Now, as we head into tomorrow, we are looking at a return to more widespread rain. But as we look ahead to the weekend, it might be a different story for Mother's Day. A full detailed look at that weekend forecast coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Governor Hochul is headed to Syracuse.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Happy Thursday, guys. Time now is 6:12, and heading out to work this morning, you might encounter what we just saw on the tower cam there, some patchy fog. Now, this is primarily focused in locations north and south of the Mohawk Valley. I would say slightly north and then primarily south, but either way, that fog we mixed in with some patchy drizzle, cloudy skies. Either way, it's a damp day today. A look at the Munson Commutecast. First off, look at some roadways. Now, the fog has lifted a little bit, what appears to be, in the Route 8, Route 20 connection down in Bridgewater, but still, clouds and damp conditions persist. Traffic tracker, really nothing to report this morning about this. The green is still present across the traffic data coming in right now. And then looking at the radar, A cold front's moving in, but it's not a strong one. In fact, you can barely see what's falling from it right here outside of Boonville and south of Old Forge along the Route 28 corridor up in the Herkimer County area. But either way, today, expect areas of patchy fog and some light drizzle this afternoon. That fog lifts, but it still remains rather damp. The clouds and light drizzle persist. And then as we head into tomorrow, there is a bigger chance for, in fact, a much more certain chance of widespread rain. But will that continue into the weekend? A full detailed look at that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. It is day 2 of the Papal.
Spoil your day. Watch for the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast and be ready for your drive to and from work. The Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast is brought to you by the Pratt Munson College of Art and Design. Visit Pratt Munson today and ignite curiosity and creativity. Better service, better prices, and local company. It's Wheelock Disposal. The Oneonta Cam is brought to you by Semicron Danfoss. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone. The time now is 6:18. As you head out to work today, well, you'll be encountering damp conditions, rain showers, and pretty much everything besides sunshine. But don't worry, there might be some on the horizon. A live look at downtown Utica right now. We're dealing with a said cloud cover and said fog, and including the light rain. And the conditions are pretty damp out there this morning. Temperature sits at 50 degrees with a westerly to northwesterly wind of around 5 or so miles an hour. And that's due to that approaching cold front. You can see the outline of it right here in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. It is not a strong one. It's there, but you can see the fact that it's not really producing a whole lot of rainfall. We zoom out, we can see this outline extending from Quebec all the way down to Chicago, and that moves its way south and east, bringing today's temperatures to a pretty steady rate of low to mid 50s. Not going to warm up too much, not going to cool down, pretty much stay put temperature-wise throughout the entire day today. Now, the weather being quiet, again, we mentioned this a few days ago, but I wanted to get more detail into this season snowfall total here in Utica, which, as we exit the season of snow, we picked up 103.5 inches in the city itself. That is about 8 inches, almost on the dot, above average. The first time we have been above average for a season since 2018. So this has been the first winter in quite a while that things have been feeling a lot more like wintertime here in central New York. Now, we aren't tracking snow, but we are tracking rain moving in tomorrow. Most locations picking up potentially ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch. Some spots maybe even an inch or more, but that seems to be the outlier. Either way, something we were mentioning before the special report came in in the last half hour was the change we're expecting this weekend. We'll take a look right here on the Skycast. So some light rain mixed in with clouds today, nuisance rain, nothing really impactful. Patchy fog tonight into early tomorrow. Friday, widespread rain moves in. This lingers for pretty much the entire morning, afternoon, and evening. We'll keep a close eye on water levels because the water table is high. The soil is saturated. Any additional rainfall could cause ponding on roadways and soaked surfaces. But either way, look at this. Saturday morning, still lingering rain. Saturday afternoon, clouds. Then as you head to, say, 3, 4, 5 p.m., that sunshine moves in. The rain ends on Saturday, giving way to, look at this, sunshine for Sunday for Mother's Day. And this looks to be a beautiful day. Highs in the upper 60s, low 70s, with almost little to no rainfall expected beyond Saturday morning into Saturday afternoon. So we also warm up again even more by next week. Upper 70s pushing 80 by Monday and Tuesday. So,
Nice gift for mothers, huh?
yes, the table has turned for the better for Mother's Day.
They're all thanking you. Eric, thanks. Be sure to like us on Facebook, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Lubitor. If you're tired of rainy days, well, today might be a change. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us from the Weather Center. And Eric, a bit rainy this morning, though, right?
Yeah, some light drizzle. It's more nuisance rain than actually impactful rain we got in the past few days. In fact, take a look in Oneonta, where aside from some drizzle and light rain up north, Some locations are dealing with, we see here, some patchy fog, and that's the case in the city of the Hills right now. Temperatures have been hovering in the low 50s for much of the area so far today. 54 in Oneonta, 50 degrees in Rome. Light rain reported in Hamilton right now, so you can see that front slowly moving in on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. It's faint, but it's there. Indicates this front is on the weak side, so this is not expected to produce anything more than light drizzle, if that, later on today as well as in the early part of this evening. So for today, expect generally damp conditions, cloudy skies, temperatures in the low to mid 50s. As we head into tomorrow, we've got a better shot for widespread soaking rainfall, actually more notable than today. But will this continue into the weekend, or will Mother's Day be dry and sunny? I know it sounds like a crazy thing to be talking about here, but well, the latest details in that weekend forecast coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. A new ambassador to China.
Farms Bakery and Deli.
The Oneonta Camp is brought to you by Semicron Danfoss.
Quite a foggy scene down there in Oneonta right now. On this Thursday morning, we are dealing with, as you just saw, fog, damp conditions, patchy drizzle. Temperatures in the 50s to start your day today. A little cooler as you head up north and west in the wake of that cold front, in the 45-degree range in Otter Lake and 49 in Westmoreland. However, as we head throughout the day today, those temperatures actually aren't going to raise up all too much, only in the mid-50s maximum. Either way, it's a mild day with damp conditions. Thankfully, though, the rainfall not nearly as impactful. Still, though, with the prime angle of the sunlight, the sunrise, I should say, and the rain showers yesterday morning, we were treated to a double rainbow for our photo of the day, which was taken in Utica yesterday. So shout out to the viewer who submitted this photo. If you have a photo like this you would like to share, you can send it to the link right there on the top of your screen, WKTV.com/weather/pics. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Central Association for the Blind and Visually.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. The time now is 6:51 and early today. It's a damp start with cloudy skies. Expect a sight you see this morning throughout much of the day today. Downtown Utica, a live view right now. Traffic starting to pick up as that morning rush hour moves in, and the temperature sitting at 50 degrees early today. Northwest wind of 5 miles an hour. That dew point of 47 is what's keeping the current conditions this morning on the damp side. The radar, you can see this very faint signature of that cold front moving its way south and east. It's not very strong, but it's there. In fact, we zoom out on the radar and satellite, we can see the outline of it going from as far north as Quebec, Canada, down to Chicago and north of St. Louis. And that is what's ushering in our cloudy skies today. If that low pressure we saw yesterday moved east, and this wasn't here, we'd be dealing with sunshine. But back to the recap of this winter time. We briefly touched upon it a few days ago, but wanted to showcase this a lot more in detail now the weather's pretty much quiet today. 103 inches of snow to wrap up the season snowfall total here in Utica. That puts us around 8 inches above average. Our average snowfall usually in Utica sits around 95.5 inches, meaning this is the first time since 2018 we have reached above average snowfall here in the city. Now, this is, of course, just Utica. Other locations, of course, up north and up south or down south could have experienced above average snowfall. But this is just the recording for the Utica area itself. Those measurements were reported inside the city. So here in the next few days, we'll be tracking more rainfall, primarily for tomorrow. You can see here between a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain for much of the area by Friday through Saturday morning. But things might change heading into the end of the weekend. We'll show it right here. So today, cloudy skies. You can see these faint signatures of patchy drizzle this morning. Either way, rainfall not too impactful today. Still some patchy fog this evening, especially overnight. And then by tomorrow, widespread rain rolls in for much of the day, morning, afternoon, and evening. Then Saturday morning, you can see here, 6 a.m., lingering drizzle, damp conditions, cloudy skies. you're probably thinking this is going to be similar to what we've seen the past few weekends, rainy Saturdays. But as we head throughout the day, look at this. The low pressure exits to the east. Sunshine moves in by Saturday evening. Temperatures peak in the upper 50s, low 60s. And then as we head into Sunday, get this, lots of sunshine for Mother's Day. Highs approaching near 70. It's looking to be one of the nicer weekends we've seen since probably last year. Now, there could be, of course, drier conditions for Saturday, but if we just get one beautiful day or even 1.5 beautiful days for a weekend, I'd call that a win, because we head into Monday and Tuesday next week. It warms up even more with more sunshine on Monday, highs pushing 80. So this is going to be a great stretch and a great treat for all the moms out there waiting to have their first true summertime feel of the season.
They deserve it.
Yes.
Go Moms. Well, teams of students from 4
meteorologist Bill Curtis, and once again we're talking about the possibility of floods.
We have more rain on the way. There is the chance of flooding, and it looks like it's going to be mainly south and east of Utica. This should be the last round of rain for a while, but again, we do have to get through this, and there is the chance that there could be some problems here. We do have a flood watch for Shenango, Otsego, Fulton, Montgomery County, but I would expand this further to the north and west. I think that Oneida, Herkimer, Madison County, areas that have gotten hit really hard, will have to keep an eye on things too, even though it looks like the heaviest rain will be close by. Live look at the Yorkville Battery, Storm Tracker 2, Doppler radar. A couple of sprinkles out there. Current temperature 51 degrees this evening. Brief showers possible. Temperatures will be in the upper 40s. And tracking the next round of rain for tomorrow. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Bill.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are tracking the next round of rain that arrives tonight, and it looks to linger through tomorrow and into early Saturday before things will finally start to change. Let's take a live look at Oneida. Temperature of 50 degrees, cloudy skies. It's been just a dreary, stubborn weather pattern here in central New York. We've had a week of clouds and on and off rain. Today the rain wasn't all that heavy, but again the cloud cover just makes things just feel not so nice out there. Temperatures are going to stay in the 50s here tonight. A couple of sprinkles out there. Live look at the Yorkville Battery, Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We do have some heavy rain on the way tomorrow. It looks like the best chance of flooding is going to be south and east of Utica with some of the heavier rain showers. But I think all of us need to be on guard here. While it is not a slam dunk that we're going to be getting flooding, the risk is there, and you're going to want to download the Storm Tracker 2 weather app. An easy way to get weather alerts on your phone. And again, it's something that hopefully we won't have to use tomorrow, but it's there if you need it. Temperatures will be in the 60s Saturday. Rain does end. It does start out wet Saturday morning, but the rain is not going to be around the whole day. We'll get a chance to dry out later in the day. Mother's Day looks nice. Sunshine, temperatures in the upper 60s. That's the best day to cut the lawn. I know the grass is growing like crazy. Again, tomorrow is a definite no. Might be able to do this late Saturday if we get a chance to dry out. Again, Sunday's your best bet, though. Our MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Low pressure develops to the south of us, and again, that is going to bring us widespread rain as we head into the day tomorrow. This low is basically going to sit to the south and east of us and bring us steady rain here over the next 36 hours. Tonight, cloudy skies, overnight lows drop down into the mid-40s. The rain breaks out tomorrow morning. It falls steadiest south and east of Utica. Temperatures only be in the low 50s throughout the afternoon. The rain continues tomorrow night, and then a few lingering showers early Saturday. This heads to the east. And again, we get a chance to dry out. And we should see some sunshine as we head into Saturday afternoon. Sunshine should help temperatures get into the 60s here. We're going to see the weather clear out Saturday night. Temperatures will drop down into the 40s. Rainfall totals. About an inch of rain is expected with this one. Again, notice the heavier amounts south and east of Utica. Tonight, rain develops, low 44. Widespread rain expected tomorrow. Temperatures in the low 50s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Showers early Saturday, and then we'll get a chance to dry out. Beautiful stretch of weather early next week. We'll be looking at highs in the upper 70s on Monday and Tuesday. And then some on and off rain chances Wednesday, Thursday, not as heavy as what we're expecting tomorrow, but also a lot warmer too. Temperatures in the 70s.
Need some drying out. We can get these lawns mowed.
Sure, yeah.
All right, thanks, Bill.
A 2-year-old.
Let's get you back to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
And a reminder, as we deal with more rain, just a reminder, you never want to drive over flooded roadways because you never know how deep the water is beneath. Sometimes the water could also wash the road away, which could be really serious. And again, there's just no way to tell. Hopefully we don't have any issues tomorrow, but again, we do have some heavy rain in the forecast, and it is something that we're going to be keeping an eye on for the potential of flooding, and especially in poor drainage areas. Temperatures will be in the low 50s tomorrow, but we have a significant change in the weather pattern. We have sunshine on the way. Again, we have to get through the next 2 days. It's raining early Saturday, but then we break out into sunshine, and the rest of the next 7 days looks really nice. But again, it is going to be wet here as the next round of rain moves in. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. A couple of sprinkles this evening. Temperatures will be in the low 50s. If you're taking the dog out for a walk, keep that in mind. Tonight's featured dog, Maggie from Oriskany. If you're going to be part of this, head to Skycast WKTV on Facebook. This is brought to you by Nissan. Jason, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. The Mohawk Valley Community Action Agency held their community.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Another gloomy day across central New York. I've been having on and off rain showers and drizzle and just not very much sunshine. A temperature of 51 degrees in downtown Utica. There is an end in sight. We have sunshine in the forecast. We have to get through tomorrow and early Saturday, but then the weather is going to change. So I know it feels like this pattern is never going to end, but it will. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, a couple of sprinkles out there. The weather remains unsettled. Widespread rain is expected tomorrow. The rain continues into early Saturday morning, but then Saturday afternoon we get a chance to dry out. The weather looks a lot nicer here heading into Mother's Day as well as Monday. We break out of this weather pattern too. Just a reminder, with the rain in the forecast, we could have some flooding issues. So it's always a good idea to have a way to get weather warnings. One easy way to do that is to download the Storm Tracker 2 weather app. Again, the risk for flooding is relatively low, but it's there, and because the ground is so saturated, even an inch or two of rain could cause problems. We think the better risk is going to be south and east of Utica. I should say the higher risk for any issues. As we get into the weekend, once this weather pattern turns, it doesn't look like we're turning back anytime soon. The extended outlook is calling for above average temperatures and hopefully some drier weather as we head into early next week. Skywatchers checking in, low 50s, Barneveld 50 degrees, Mike in New Hartford 55, Donna, Norway 56 degrees, Westford 53. Low pressure is going to develop off the Atlantic coast. It's technically a nor'easter just based on its track. It's not going to produce snow though. We're looking at widespread steady rain here as we head into tomorrow. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, cloudy skies tonight, patchy drizzle. Widespread rain develops late tonight, and we're looking at a widespread steady rainfall Friday morning. This will continue throughout the entire day. Temperatures climb only into the mid-50s. Rain will continue into Friday night. It's raining Saturday morning, but watch this. Things start to change. Sunshine breaks out Saturday afternoon. Winds turn into the northwest. Temperatures climb into the 60s. It's going to be a much nicer finish to the day. Before we get there, though, we do have rain to talk about. Again, about an inch of accumulation is expected, especially from Utica and points south and east. Again, we'll have to keep an eye on things because we could have some flooding in localized spots. We'll keep you posted as we head throughout tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. And again, the better risk looks to be south and east of Utica. But again, we'll have to keep an eye on things throughout a good portion of the area just because it's been so wet. Rain develops tonight, low 44. Rain tomorrow, 52 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Looks nice from Sunday onward. Lots of sunshine is expected. 67 on Mother's Day. 78 on Monday. Lots of sunshine. 79 Tuesday, so kind of feeling like early summer. as we head into early next week. And we do have some rain chances ahead, but it's a warm rain. High temperatures in the low 70s Wednesday, mid 70s on Thursday with the chance for some showers and thunderstorms. So we'll be right back.
Here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
We have another round of rain on the way, and because of that and the fact that we think it's going to be heavy, there is a flood watch for Shenango, Otsego, Fulton, and Montgomery County. This is for tomorrow afternoon. I would extend this further to the north and west. Those of you living in Herkimer, Oneida, Madison County, you're going to want to keep an eye on things too, just because it's been so wet. It does look like the heaviest rain will be to the south and east, but it's going to be very close, very sharp cutoff here. So again, I think we'll just have to be on guard and watch this one closely. A couple of sprinkles out there. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Current temperature 51 degrees. It's cool. It's gloomy. We're going to have a few showers out there this evening. We've got to get through another round of rain for tomorrow, but there are signs that the weather pattern is going to change. We're going to see some sunshine and some big changes ahead, too. Going to look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Chicago-born Cardinal.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Gloomy weather. We've got to deal with another round of rain heading into tomorrow. The rain could come down heavy enough to cause some flooding issues. But there's an end in sight. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Live look at downtown Utica, 51 degrees, cool, cloudy, wet, drizzle. Just feels like this has been going on forever. But it hasn't. It's been about a week. We will see the pattern flip around, too. But again, we have to get through tomorrow. A couple of sprinkles out there this evening. There's going to be the risk for localized flooding tomorrow as an area of low pressure moves in. This whole area shaded in green has that chance. It's not a high chance, but it's there. And you're going to want to have a way to get weather warnings. If you don't, we recommend the Storm Tracker 2 weather app. It's easy to download, and it'll give you alerts on your phone when things do change. Rain does end Saturday. It's a wet start to the weekend, but Saturday afternoon, sunshine is expected, and the weather pattern changes. Sunday looks beautiful. Temperatures climb into the upper 60s for Mother's Day. With that in mind, that's the day you want to cut your lawn, or if you don't want to cut over the weekend, you could do that early next week. We do get a chance to dry out, but again, in the short term, it still looks pretty wet. Our Mowcast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Skywatchers, a cool day. Whitesboro, 53 degrees. Barneveld, 50, Norway 56, Frankenpayne's Hollow 50 degrees, Westford 53. The next area of low pressure is in the process of developing, and because it tracks along the Atlantic coast, it's defined as a nor'easter. It's not going to produce snow, but that is it will be producing some widespread rain. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, cloudy skies tonight. Rain develops overnight. Temperatures drop into the low 40s. Friday, it's a washout. Rain throughout most of the day, temperatures in the low 50s. Rain continues into Friday night. Showers around first thing Saturday, but check it out. Things are going to change. The wind direction changes. The low pressure moves to the east. We'll see sunshine before the day is done. It's a soaker tomorrow. We're thinking about an inch of rain, perhaps more. And again, this could be enough to cause some issues, so just be on guard, especially if you've been dealing with flooding over the past couple of days. Again, more rain on the way. Rain develops tonight, low of 44. Widespread rain for Friday, temperatures in the low 50s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Rain continues into early Saturday, but we'll get a chance to dry out. It's a beautiful weather pattern beginning Sunday. We break out of this. Sunshine Mother's Day, 67. Sunny on Monday, 78. Mostly cloudy Tuesday, almost 80 degrees. And then when we do get more rain chances next week, it's a warm rain. Temperatures will be in the low 70s Wednesday, mid 70s on Thursday.
Is it a warm rain?
A warm rain. Remember what that was like?
No. It's
been a while. Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. We hear from the now legendary. We're going to get to those stories in a moment. First, more rain coming our way tomorrow. Nothing severe, but we do want folks to be aware of there is a flood watch for southern parts of our viewing area, correct?
Yeah, we've got a flood watch for Shenango, Otsego, Montgomery, Fulton County. I think we do have to watch Herkimer and eastern Oneida County, too. Okay. But even though these counties are not in the flood watch, we had a lot of issues here earlier this week, and the ground's really saturated. So we're going to be extra careful here. As we take a look at the radar this evening, it is pretty quiet. We haven't had much rain today. We've had a lot of drizzle, but in terms of rainfall amounts, it's been relatively low. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. A few sprinkles out there tonight. Temperatures are cooling off. We're sitting at 47 degrees. It is a little bit chilly outside. Temperatures will drop into the low 40s tonight. We are tracking a cool day tomorrow, but big changes are ahead. Once the rain comes to an end to start the weekend, we are looking at much warmer temperatures. We'll make a run into the upper 70s by Monday and Tuesday. Rain will develop late tonight, low temperatures in the low 40s. Again, we're tracking rainfall amounts for Friday, and we're also letting you know when things start to improve. We'll look at the forecasts coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New tonight, the New York State budget has passed both the Senate and Assembly. Both just finished.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A cloudy sky, temperature 47 degrees. It's been a gloomy stretch of weather here in Central New York. We've got another day like this tomorrow and a start to the weekend like this, but when the weather finally changes, it is going to change in a big and profound way. We're looking at much different weather here heading into early next week. Take a look at this. Not just a 4-leaf clover, but a 5-leaf clover. This picture from Stephanie Hunt in Westmoreland. What does that mean? I don't know. Maybe it means we'll get some better weather here. It has been very wet lately. We've had almost a week's worth of clouds and showers and cool weather. Well, things are going to be this way for another day. In fact, we are keeping an eye on the potential for locally heavy rain tomorrow, and there is a chance that a few places could see some flooding, particularly in poor drainage areas. It's something we'll have to keep an eye on. Overall risk is low, but again, it's not zero, so something we want to keep tabs on. An easy way to do that is by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app, and you can get instant weather alerts to your phone. The weekend starts out wet, cloudy, but the weather will change. By Saturday afternoon, we're expecting a return to sunshine. Sunday is looking a lot nicer for Mother's Day. Sunny skies, temperatures in the upper 70s. With that being said, not good day to cut the lawn tomorrow. We're looking at widespread rain, but by Sunday, it's looking a lot better. And I know the lawns are going to be needing to be cut across Central New York with all this rain. Our MoCast, by the way, is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Low pressure develops and moves in from the south. This is a nor'easter because of its track. This will be moving into Central New York tomorrow. Tonight, it's mostly cloudy. Could have a few showers here late tonight, but this really doesn't get going until later in the day tomorrow. Rain is expected to develop. It becomes steadier and heavier throughout the afternoon and evening, and it continues into tomorrow night. Saturday, showers in the morning, but watch what happens. We expect sunshine to break out in the afternoon and a much nicer finish to the weekend. Rainfall totals, we think about 1 inch of accumulation is expected. There could be some locally higher numbers, especially south and east of Utica. And again, just keep an eye on things. If you live in a flood-prone area, it's something you'll want to keep tabs on tomorrow afternoon as that heavier rain approaches. Rain develops tonight, low 44. Tomorrow, rain throughout the afternoon, a high of 52. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather looks a lot nicer. Once we break out of this pattern, we just run far away from the rain, at least for the next several days. In fact, if anything, it's going to feel more like summer Monday and Tuesday with temperatures close to 80 degrees. Do have a few showers that return Wednesday and Thursday, but it looks like a warm rain, believe it or not.
Maybe by Monday or Tuesday I can actually mow the lawn. It is soaking wet.
We need to dry out for sure. Yeah.
Alrighty, thank you, Bill. Coming up next, and historic.
With
Good evening, everyone. We're going to get to those stories in a moment. First, though, more rain coming our way tomorrow. Nothing severe, but we do want folks to be aware because there are some flood watches in some of the counties in our viewing area.
Yeah, we've got to be careful here because I know this only affects parts of our area, Shenango, Otsego, Fulton, Montgomery County, but because it's been so wet, we've had some flooding issues in Herkimer and parts of Oneida County on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We just have to be careful. I think we're going to have to keep an eye on things heading into tomorrow. Again, the next round of rain is on the way. Tonight's dry, so we at least had that, but it's cloudy. We're not really getting a chance to dry out weather-wise as we take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Pretty quiet conditions out there. A few sprinkles across Otsego County. Temperatures are cooling off. We're sitting at 46 degrees. Kind of chilly out there tonight. Temperatures are going to be on the cool side tomorrow with rain developing. But once we get through tomorrow and especially early Saturday, our weather is going to dramatically change. Temperatures are going to warm up. In fact, we'll make a run into the upper 70s early next week. Rain does develop late tonight and it's going to be with us for most of the day tomorrow. We're tracking rainfall amounts and how things shape up for the weekend. And look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New tonight, the state budget is...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look at downtown Utica. Just another dreary day today. We've been having some very light rain showers throughout and some drizzle. Tonight, things are looking relatively quiet. We have another chance of rain tomorrow. Before we get into that, I wanted to take a look at this photo. How about this? A 5-leaf clover. This picture from Stephanie Hunt and Westmoreland. It's pretty neat to see. Wonder what that means. We definitely need some luck for sure to get out of this weather rut. And looking ahead, it does look like that's going to happen heading into the weekend. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar again tonight. Pretty quiet weather for now, but we are tracking the next weather system approaching from the south. There is the chance that we could see some localized flooding tomorrow across our entire area, but it's a low chance. The best chance of seeing the heaviest rain looks to be south and east of Utica with some heavier totals in Otsego County. Have a way to get weather alerts throughout the summer season, whether it's severe thunderstorm warnings or flood alerts. This is an easy way to do that by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. Rain comes to an end as we start the weekend, so it is a wet start to the weekend, but the second half of Saturday looks better. Sunday looks beautiful for Mother's Day, sunshine, temperatures in the upper 60s. The grass is growing like crazy despite the cool, wet weather. If you're looking to cut the lawn, I think Sunday is going to be your best bet for the next 3 days. Our MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. We are tracking a developing nor'easter, an area of low pressure that moves along the coast. It's not going to produce snow, it's just the name of the track that the storm takes. But what it will produce is widespread rain, and that rain looks heaviest just to the east of Utica. Tonight, the rain will develop very late tonight. We'll start out Friday morning with widespread light rain showers. The rain starts to pick up in the afternoon and continues into tomorrow evening. So it's pretty close to a washout, although we may have some periods of dry weather early in the day. The rain continues into tomorrow night. It becomes showers into Saturday. Temperatures start out in the 40s. Watch what happens Saturday afternoon. Skies clear out. Should see some sunshine and a nice finish to the weekend. Rainfall totals look to be about an inch, especially south and east of Utica. Again, we'll be keeping an eye on things for any possible flooding, most likely in poor drainage areas. And I think the risk is relatively low. But again, it's been so wet lately, we've got to keep an eye on things. Rain develops tonight, low 44. Tomorrow, rain in the afternoon. Temperatures in the low 50s. The weather improves heading into the weekend. Sunshine early next week and warm with high temperatures close to 80 on Monday and Tuesday. We'll be right back.